Well, we did it again. It's episode number 148.
We're back. We're live.
My Cup of Tea. Can you believe it, Evan?
No, I can't. It's been a long journey, Nathan. We've come a long way. It's been a long day. But there's been some great news. There's been some interesting news. We have the whole Sadie Sink Spider-Man stuff. We have Last of Us trailer. And the Last of Us trailer I only saw like one time. So it'll be fun to like dive into it with you. And then I didn't even see the Lilo and Stitch trailer yet. So that'll be fun.
Nice. I haven't seen either of these.
Okay. Yeah. And then we got the whole Daredevil episode from yesterday, which was pretty interesting. I've seen people be mixed on it, man. In terms of some people didn't like that there was no violence. Not that there was no violence, but just like the upsetting outcome, which I could understand. I did really like the episode, but the ending is left me feeling cold in a way I think they wanted us to feel, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, at what cost? You know what I mean? So we'll get into that. And then Invincible from last week was crazy. This season has been so good for Invincible, even though people are still shitting my man Mark. So yeah, I think Mark had a great episode. But I want to start off with, the Sadie Sink of it all, the red, fire the alarm bells, the Spider-Man of it all. I know because I think, Nathan, you're a Spider-Man fan. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Certified webhead.
Certified person who knows every quote from The Amazing Spider-Man.
You scared me. I thought you were going into some lyrics.
No. Love it.
Wop. Anyway.
Certified webhead. Anyways, let's talk about this. So today, after school, I'm just reading through my tweets. Twitter wasn't working for me, by the way. I know Twitter went down on Monday.
Last 2 days, I've been like, am I getting all my messages? What's happening?
What's happening? Elon! What's happening? He's too busy fucking selling cars to Donald Trump at the White House to take care of his act. Fucker.
It's insane.
He's the worst, guys. Anyways,
I love my country.
Do you?
I love the idea of it.
Yeah, that's a good point. The idea of it. What was that? I don't know. Anyways, that's some Matrix shit. Sadie Sink has been cast as blank in Spider-Man 4. And this is where the theories blew up. Because if you were on this podcast, Nathan and I are, but if you were listening to this podcast, we talked about this months ago, where Sadie Sink was rumored to be playing Jean Grey. This was brought about by Jeff Snyder. And I don't know if Daniel RPK was also corroborating that, but like the biggest thing, even X-Men accounts were like spearheading the whole Sadie Sink, Jean Grey. I was like, that's fantastic casting. It was the episode we talked about how they're casting younger actors for this. Sadie Sink, if she is playing Jean Grey, would be a younger actor. I kind of like the idea of having my X-Men be of the younger age. We went on a whole tangent about that. But anyways, now she's cast in Spider-Man 4, taking place after Doomsday. Is she still playing Jean Grey? Or some people have said like, hey, maybe Jeff, maybe some other insiders in Hollywood who aren't the biggest comic book fans, maybe they hear, and this happens all the time, maybe they hear a line saying like Sadie Sink playing a mutant character or an important comic book character for Marvel, and you automatically think Jean Grey, redhead. That could be a tracking thing for a lot of sources to do, like connecting the dots there. But again, the whole Spider-Man 4 of it all is crazy. Would Feige cast Jean Grey in Spider-Man 4, or is it just simply following the redheaded tradition, Gwen Stacy, where redheaded actresses, Kirsten Dunst, Emma Stone, ended up, or Kirsten Dunst, not Kirsten Dunst. I meant
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Bryce Dallas Howard. Thank you. Playing Gwen Stacy. Jesus Christ. Long day, guys. I'm sorry. So we have Gwen Stacy as a possibility. Jean Grey as a possibility. Somebody said she could be MJ. Not happening. We already have MJ as Zendaya.
No,
so
yes.
Can't cancel that one. That's not even. We're not even gonna fathom that world.
It's a ridiculous notion.
Exactly.
The amount of times I keep reading, I keep muting these people who are just like, oh, but no, she's Michelle Jones, not actually MJ. It's like, yes, it is.
Stop it.
Get out of here.
It was stupid the way they did it, where it's like Michelle Jones. Actually, my last name is Jones. Like, what are we doing here, Feige? That was stupid.
Whatever. That was 8 years ago now.
That was 8 years ago. Now it's over. She's MJ. Does he even call her MJ in the movies? He does, right?
Yeah. She's been consistently MJ since Far From Home.
Got it. Okay. I'm not going crazy.
Or the ending of Homecoming, really.
Yeah, I'm not going crazy, am I? Anyways, yeah. So MJ. Anyways, Gwen Stacy, Jean Grey. Is there any other world that I'm missing? Are those the only two possibilities?
Somebody threw out, because with the venture of the multiverse, the idea that if she were to be like a future Mayday Parker Spider-Woman would be kind of a cool idea. If she's just like a multiverse side thing, that'd be cool. Yeah, but I think you probably get her for like a longer role because she is such a great actress, such big acclaim with Stranger Things, such an emotional anchor from that last season as well. I think she was
the star of the last season for sure.
For sure, and I think she would be like a very prominent get to continue forward with. And I do like the idea of her being Gwen Stacy. That is my idea moving forward.
Gwen Stacy is my girl. I say this all the time. I love Gwen more than Mary Jane, even though Mary Jane has maybe because I grew up on the movies, and Gwen Stacy was just a better character in Amazing Spider-Man than MJ was in the Spider-Man movies. Emma Stone bias included. And then in the TV show, like Spectacular Spider-Man, my favorite Spider-Man show, Gwen Stacy was my girl. She was great in that show too.
And now you're watching Spider-Verse movies.
And now watching Spider-Verse movies, I'm like, Gwen Stacy is doubly my girl. I love Spider-Gwen.
She's the co-lead.
So I've just always been closely associated with Gwen Stacy, even though MJ in the Ultimate Spider-Man run by Brian Michael Bendis is a fantastic character there. So, I've had good and bad interpretations of MJ. But yeah, I'm so torn because, I'm a Gwen Stacy stan. I love Gwen Stacy. If this was a normal Spider-Man movie, if this was Spider-Man 4, no Doomsday multiverse bullshit, I would 1,000% be on board with it being Gwen Stacy. It being after Doomsday, we're getting some Secret Wars multiversal craziness. We don't know what cameos are in and out of these movies. I'm much more of the belief that it could just be Jean Grey. I think it could just be Jean Grey. I actually, maybe because I like the idea of Sadie Sink being Jean Grey a lot, because I just like that idea. There have been other people who have now been saying that like Sadie Sink might not be Jean Grey, and they might be raising the age of Jean and Scott and lowering the age of like what we talked about 2 weeks ago with Julia Butters as the pop girl. What's her name? The firework Jubilee. Where the younger cast of the X-Men are going to be younger, like Jubilee, maybe Katie. What's her name? Who can go through walls? What's her name?
Kitty Pryde.
Kitty Pryde. Like those younger, newer arrivals are going to be younger, while the veterans of the X-Men franchise, your Cyclops and Jean Grey, Storm maybe, are going to be a little bit more older, probably late 20s.
We started that way with the first X-Men.
And that was the way the first X-Men, yeah. But so like late 20s, early 20s dynamic going on there. That would be fine for me. And that would kind of like X-nay Sadie Sink from being Jean Grey. But either way, if they're all young, then I like Sadie Sink being Jean Grey. I really like that idea a lot. And her being in a Spider-Man movie is weird as hell. But I wouldn't really be surprising given this after Doomsday, and anybody who's anybody could be in any of these movies post-Doomsday. We don't know what the world is going to be looking like in a post-Doomsday world. We don't even know what the end of Doomsday is going to be. We all theorize like, oh, our heroes are going to lose, and then Secret Wars where you bring back other characters to save the day. We don't know. We've seen that before. We're just going off of what we know, like where Infinity War people lost and Secret Wars, Endgame, that everybody came back and saved the day.
Yeah.
Are the Russos going to do that again? knowing their writing ability, probably.
But
like,
well, it's Marcus and McFeely. But
true. They're great. They're smart. They know the time travel elements.
No, they don't, and they wrote it, and that's what fucking irks me every time. Remember, I told you they're
the ones that were confused.
Misexplained the own time travel rules that they wrote.
I got confused by who. I got confused by who knew and who didn't know. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. That's what baffles me every time. It's like you wrote it. Why don't you know?
Yeah. That was bad.
But with that being said, I think I had theorized last time when we were discussing the art that came out. I was positing the idea of the battle world being formed of like a merging of all the different planes of different multiversal and current universe heroes existing within false memories, but then some heroes not included in that, and they have to quote unquote reawaken the memories within our main characters to break out of that and stop Doom. So I don't know if Spider-Man's going to end up in a situation like that. He may be somebody who's on the outskirts. He may end up with his own storyline again. With how expansive, because we talk about how expansive the multiverse is. Just the Spider-Man side of that alone is so expansive that could be its own pocket thing, and Peter could genuinely just be in his own steady thing until he's brought into the fold by other Spideys. But so with that being said, you could totally set up side characters like Gwen if they wanted to moving forward and stuff. Setting up a ESU college setting.
That would be great. I think, and you can do that. I still contend Spider-Man 4 will begin in a normal fucking way. I don't think the movie's going to begin with like, boom, post Doomsday. Whoa, what's going on here? I still think we're going to get some kind of college sense, some kind of like Peter dynamic, then go to craziness. And if that's the case, boom, walk into class, you see Sadie Stink as Gwen Stacy. Is that what you were saying? Like Gwen Stacy could appear in Spider-Man 4 in a pretty pivotal new role. I don't know, but it just feels like that would be very possible. But on the same lines, I think Jean Grey is also very possible as well. If your Battle World thing could be believed here, where in Battle World anything can happen. Granted, I always was just of the belief that they'll save X-Men for Secret Wars, and then that'll lead into the X-Men film, which, according again to Jeff Snyder, take it or leave it, guys. But like, if all things fall into place, the X-Men films could just come out in 2027, which is right after Secret Wars. The first film that July spot right after Secret Wars could be X-Men, which would be kind of prime. Fantastic Four in July, X-Men in July, those Fox properties. But anyways, if that happens, then I always was of the belief that the X-Men characters like Sadie Stink would be in Secret Wars, not in Doomsday, which means she wouldn't be in Spider-Man 4. It's a weird web of tangles that my mind's working with. But she could easily just appear in Spider-Man 4 as Jean in a Battle World scenario. But
that feels out of left field at this time.
Does it? What's in our field? What's in our field for Doomsday Spider-Man scenario?
I know we're in like a realm where Doom is out of left field, but other than him, I don't know if anything else particularly would be.
Because we're just saying that because X-Men and Spider-Man don't really mix. Like, for example, if it said Johnny Storm in Spider-Man 4, would people be out of left field? I don't think they would.
For Spider-Man 4? No, because we already do have a prelude to his existence popping up before that film. I think
true. That's good.
I think whatever form of X-Men we are to get in this journey is not going to be any of the new cast just yet. Like we talked about this, I think, like many episodes ago. I think our introduction to any of the new cast of the X-Men are going to be at the very end of Secret Wars, when like the new universe foundation is established. I don't really see Jean first popping up in a Spidey flick. That would then kind of lead credence to then Spidey having a run into a full X-Men team of some sort. It wouldn't just be Jean, I don't think, because I can't really think off the top of my head specific Peter Jean solo interactions.
Yeah, that'd be weird as heck.
I also know a lot of people were running the idea of her playing Jean, some time ago. Maybe just because she's read out, I don't know. But also, this is also the same rumor mill that we come off of. Was like, oh, Coleman Domingo is meeting with the Marvel Studios. Could he be the new Kang? And he is side cartoon Norman Osborn.
I never believed that. I hope people didn't really believe that either.
I believed it. I was hoping.
I mean, because the whole Coleman Domingo thing, because that was just like meeting. And to be honest, I think Coleman did say they did meet and they did ask him to be that. I think he confirmed that they did ask him to be Kang, and he said he didn't want to replace. He didn't want to get a role that's just replacing somebody.
Yeah, that's true.
That was that. So yeah, it's just Gwen Stacy makes a lot more sense. It's just that people were going off the belief for weeks now, months now, that Sadie's Jean Grey, which has people's heads turning. Why would MJ be here? Why would Gwen Stacy be here in a doomsday-like scenario? It's just that we have no idea what the context of this movie is. Remember, late last year, we were just still thinking Spider-Man 4 was going to be all three Spider-Boys back together again versus that Venom awful villain thing. No.
Could still be.
Still be the case. That's the worst world. That's the worst world I can think of. I don't want that to happen.
I mean, if we could write it better. Who is the villain of Spider-Man 4, Evan? The writers?
Sony. Feige himself. I don't know. Whoever lost the battle to not make this a standalone movie. Whoever decided this is going to be a multiverse level movie just because it takes place after Doomsday, you lost the battle.
Oh, the point.
You're a writer. Fix that. Anyway, sorry.
To the point. We didn't bring it up last time reviewing the premiere of Daredevil, but you remember there was a rumor about the idea of like Spider-Man 4 could be Spider-Man versus Kingpin or Kingpin versus multiple vigilantes. Kate Bishop could feature and stuff, but in actuality, muddied with along the way. In episode 1 or 2 of Daredevil, Fisk calls out the different vigilantes by name, and he's currently on that crusade to go against them. So I think that was just kind of like a mix of plots.
I wish we could get a sense of Spider-Man being a vigilante in the MCU.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, they can't use him out of his own property.
True, but it's just like I wish we can get that sense of like the police don't like Spider-Man. We haven't had that era of Spider-Man yet. We thought we were gonna get it after No Way Home. It's like, oh, finally we get to have masked Spider-Man doing some crazy shit in New York.
It is funny, like, I mean, I do appreciate the idea of Homecoming starting off where he is truly a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man because he was very small scale in his environment in Queens. But then, obviously, the next step would be like, all right, well, now you can branch out of the city. But we're like, no, we're going to Europe. Okay, yeah, I see you wanted to fresh things up, but all right, cool. Now is the time we can really, like, his identity's out there. People can be chasing around. What is it going to be? She's chasing the villains from other movies.
Yep. Which, again, I don't love Far From Home. It's one of my least favorite MCU movies. But No Way Home it was solid. So I don't want to disparage that. It's just that No Way Home is solid, and it leaves off on a very uplifting for Spider-Man fans. It's a very sad ending, but like uplifting for like, oh wow, we're finally getting to Spider-Man that we know and love, where he's masked by himself, no friends. Or granted, Spider-Man has friends. I don't want to say that like he's a super lonely character, but like,
well, now
he is. This Spider-Man's lonelier than most iterations of Spider-Man. The Raimi movies, he's a lonely character, but at least he had like, Mary Jane to a degree and stuff like that. Anyways, it's just that like now this guy is all alone. He has to make some new, fresh dynamics, and that whole early college life. We could have had what I was envisioning for Spider-Man 4 was always like a new version of Spider-Man Homecoming, but except now that he has honed in on his powers, it's much more of a social play. Where Spider-Man Homecoming, he's getting used to his powers. He's shy around Liz. Now we can get similar aspects where he doesn't have Ned as a backboard. He doesn't have a crush on Liz Allen. In this case, he's just trying to be the best Spider-Man that he could be while also being a freshman, no new friends. Maybe Zendaya pops up here and there, but like he has to make friends with a Gwen Stacy or maybe a Harry Osborn. We can't. So those are my wishes, or we can just rewatch Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man for some peak Spider-Man content now. But it's just like, man, I don't know. Going back to all this, I just don't know where Sadie Sink is. You have basically convinced me to go away from the Jean Grey stuff. I think is the end of this conversation. Like, I came in here thinking like Jean Grey could make a lot of sense, but like now that I think about it more and more, talking it over with you, I'm leaning more now towards Gwen Stacy. But so let's go further into the Gwen Stacy of it all. Or we can say something.
No, you're good.
Like go to Gwen Stacy of it all. I gotta bring it up, guys. Ghost Spider Gwen. Is that going to be a thing as we move forward? Nathan, are you good? Are you still here? He kind of froze on my screen. That's what I mentioned. Ghost Spider Gwen, he freezes. But Spider Gwen could be a possibility in this world. I think that's way down the line. If she is playing Gwen Stacy, I don't think that's going to be one of the first things that could happen. But you never really know. So that was just one world that I was thinking of in that possibility train. Gwen Stacy being there. But granted, I think we can just get a fresh Gwen Stacy in these movies, starting with Spider-Man 4, kind of seed in Sadie Sink. I don't want them to waste her, by the way. If she is playing Gwen Stacy, I don't want them to waste, Sadie Sink as Gwen Stacy, where she's just a little bit in Spider-Man 4. Welcome back. I see you now.
Okay, so you immediately like, I'm thinking, and then
yeah,
everything.
That's fine. I was just spitballing about like if Gwen Stacy's in here, could we get Ghost Spider / Spider Gwen in this universe down the line? Is that something that they would be thinking about at all in the MCU?
I think they're always thinking about the idea of the Spider-Verse, right? I don't know, because I don't know when we're supposed to get the Spider-Man Noir show.
True.
Because that's gonna be our one. Because that's gonna be our one like real test of doing a Spider-Man project that is a different Spider-Man in live action, right?
On TV,
right? But on Prime, right?
Yeah.
There's a big audience there. I don't know. It's funny because Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man's about to do it as well. I would hope not too soon.
Me too.
I'm not looking for and usually if I am looking for something with the Spider-Man, I would want more so to explore her from a multiverse angle, want her to be in her main universe, like just let Sony make a Spider-Gwen project competently and actually like with
I'm still holding out on Amy, and I don't know what her name is, the head of Sony, the woman head of Sony, Amy Pascal. She mentioned the Spider-Gwen spin-off animated movie like in 2019 or 2020, and it just like completely dropped it. When Across the Spider-Verse was coming out, some writers reminded her about that. She's like, oh yeah, that's still in the cards. I'm like, you have Haley Steinfeld, you have the awesome universe of Earth 65. Do something with her.
That opening from Across alone just is a good gesture.
Like, just make a Spider-Gwen animated movie. We know Miles Morales' story is ending and beyond whenever that comes out, hopefully 2026. Like, you can make an animated trilogy of just Haley Steinfeld. Do a Spider-Gwen animated trilogy. I'm telling you, people will be fine with it. I bet Lord and Miller are exhausted with this trilogy. I bet all the animators are exhausted with this trilogy. But like, there's other people who can do that trilogy. Anyways, what I was saying, Nathan, is that like, if she is playing Gwen Stacy, regardless of the Spider-Gwen scenario, I just don't want them to waste her in Spider-Man 4. There's been a lot of great actors in the Marvel universe that they just wasted. I don't want them to waste Sadie Sink. If she's Jean Grey, she's not going to be wasted. It's just a tease for something bigger and greater. If she is Gwen Stacy, it's just like, I don't know how much we're going to get of her in Spider-Man 4, and then we'll have to wait for a couple of years to see her again in Spider-Man 5. It's just that you have Sadie Sink here. Make the most of it as you can in Spider-Man 4. I'm just spitballing, but I don't know.
For sure. I think in regards to Spider-Gwen. I think I would more so expect them to be more focused on getting to Miles first. I imagine they're definitely going to want to do that soon. I know Feige's going to want Miles to be MCU prominent as well for the future.
I wasn't even thinking about that. I mean, I think Miles is still 10 years down the line, at least.
You think? But also, I mean, we are 8 years into this Spider-Man on screen with...
That is crazy.
This is... and it's funny, because this is going to be Tom's 8th project, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about. Wow. We are 8 years in for Spider-Man. How long was Tobey Spider-Man? 2000, 2005?
2002, only 5 years.
5 years. Andrew 4 years.
3
years. Man, that's crazy. And yeah, as soon as he went to college, like, now we have a college arc of 3 movies, Tom. Get ready, buddy, for another 3 movies.
That's the funny thing too, is like, wow, there's like just Spider-Man's been through so much. It's like he just turned 18. You can't kill him so soon. How old was Peter when he died in the Ultimate Universe?
He was young. I think.
He was. Was he like only like 2 years into being Spider-Man when that happened?
I think he was like he was either a sophomore or a junior. He was still in high school.
That's what. Was Miles active prior to his death, or was he after?
I think he was a little bit. I'm not sure actually. I forget the timeline of events. But that panel was so he dies in his front yard.
Yeah, with May and MJ, right?
MJ right there, Sinister Six. He went all out. He went all out. Spoiler alert for a comic that came out 25 years ago.
I remember looking at that and looking at the following up like funeral issue. It's like, oh my god.
I can't imagine being a comic reader reading that live. Like, man, that's crazy. And then getting Miles like a year later, like or 2 years later. I think Miles was like a 2008 kind of thing, 2009 kind of thing, or maybe earlier. That's 5. Anyways,
that's an interesting concept too, though. Like the idea of like adapting very recent comics into the main movies, because the idea of Sam being Captain America was a thing until 2014. That's very recent. That's the year he was introduced into the MCU films.
That's crazy, right? That's crazy. So yeah, anything's possible. Anything's possible. But I think we should move on here.
Sure. That is to say, real quick,
yeah, go on.
If you are to adapt recent things, and if they want to, currently, for better or worse, Peter, Miles, and Gwen, all Spider variants, are all within the 616 universe now.
They are.
Again, for better or worse.
Yeah, but I think for worse. Miles, I get, but
sure. Miles has like a lot of comic history now.
And his universe got destroyed. He had no say in the matter.
But the idea of putting Gwen in a universe where her big origin character died in Peter's life is now like she's back, swinging around, alive, and is a spider person.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's crowded. Yeah. So yeah, Nathan is going to officially convince me that it's Gwen Stacy, but there's any possibility they could be Jean Grey, Gwen Stacy, or something we're just not thinking of. Some people are saying Firestar. I forgot to mention that.
I did hear that would be fun. I mean, because if you are to like pull like an X-Men for Peter to be involved in, Spider-Man, His Amazing Friends was Peter like roommates with Firestar and Iceman.
Yeah. And I love the TV show growing up. What was it called? Spider-Man, His Amazing Friends. What was it called?
Yeah.
That was like the 80s. I used to watch that right after school. Go home, get some cereal, watch Spider-Man, His Amazing Friends. What channel was that on?
Sarah, how old are you?
I'm not born in the 80s. They kept replaying it though in the early 2000s.
Yeah. A lot of that stuff was like on, like all the Spider-Man cartoons were on Netflix for a time. I was watching on the fucking Wii.
Nice. I never used Netflix. Yeah, we talked about that. But anyways, so yeah, we went way longer than I thought on that conversation. But it's a fun conversation. I love rumors. Anything can happen. And again, the fact that we're talking about Sadie Sink in 2025 means she is going to be in Spider-Man 4. I don't think that's disputed at all. But again, we've heard about her name ever since last year with Jean Grey. So it's like, what's the rub? What's the real deal here? Before we talk about Daredevil, I think I want to talk about Invincible. Actually, do you mind?
Okay, that's fine.
Do you switch it up? Because I feel like I want to get to that in my brain. How fucking crazy this shit was, Nathan.
I'm just gonna.
I know.
I'm just gonna push a lot of the side. I'm just gonna crawl to this main point. Evan, Rex.
Not happy, Bob. Not happy, Bob. Is he really dead, Nathan? We didn't see a body.
I always love to think that. Hell, I'll even think about that for White Tiger right now. But Evan, Rex blew up his skeleton. He blew up his own skeleton.
You didn't have to say it again, Nathan. That was a baller ending if he did die.
The hell of a way to go out. Did it kill that Invincible?
So which one was he fighting? He was fighting the one that looked like Mark, had a similar costume to Mark, right?
Yeah, was that the Mohawk one?
I don't think it was. I think that was just a regular Mark with just like a different. He had a different uniform design, but it was like blue and gold still. I don't think it was Mohawk. I think he had normal Mark hair.
I think you're right.
I could be wrong.
He looked very similar to Mark.
I think he went out. I think this Invincible went out. Either way, they're all gone. Either way, at the end of the story, at the end of the episode, at least they all died, or at least got to another dimension.
It should,
but
you go ahead.
But like at the beginning of the episode, my heart's pounding. So I'm like, this is getting crazy and it's real and it's dangerous. And the whole Rex and Ray thing. This was the episode that started off with them at the apartment, right? And they're just kissing at the apartment, right? And Jalen's like, I'm so scared for Rex. I'm like, I'm not scared for Rex at all. I was scared for Ray. Rex has potential. People keep treating me like, oh, there's a lot of story potential for Rex. They could do a one-off special like they did for Eve. I'm like, oh, so this is a character that has legs in the comics, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe I've just been alluding. I've just been thinking that to myself. But like, I always figured Ray was the one to go here. Wow. This is not what I wanted, Nathan. I just wanted a happy-go-lucky romance.
It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was like pseudo spoiled to this idea because like I think someone made a tweet that mentioned Rex, and then it was a comic panel of Eve clearly giving some type of eulogy at a funeral, and I was like, don't do this to me. Don't curse me with this knowledge.
Oh man. I mean,
now, granted, comics in 1/8 of the time.
Yeah. This is a show where we have different dimensions. We could get a different dimension Rex coming into the Invincible. Am I going crazy here, guys?
It's not the same.
It's not the same. I know it's not the same. Man, I'm
pissed. That robot is literally a clone of Rex.
It is. Yeah, it's true.
We also never did touch on the fact that Robot was able to stop Monster Girl's aging.
Well, that was 2 weeks ago, right?
It was. We didn't bring it up. But like that's beautiful.
That was a great scene. That was a beautiful scene. I love that their relationship is also peak. That was a very sweet scene. And he's like, I know you're going to be upset. I know I shouldn't have get involved in your life. I don't want to say that because you're a monster, you have less value. But it's just like, no, she was genuinely happy that her transformation isn't costing her any life force energy anymore. She can actually grow now, which is so emotional, overwhelming, such a really worthwhile scene. I'm so happy that Rex and Monster Girl are, they're a thing and they're kicking it. It's great. Yeah. I love them so much. And now they're my harmony within the chaos. Because that's a bummer, Nathan. Like, wow, Rex was going off. He had a scene stealer in season 2. Just going off with his broken hand, gets shot in the head, goes crazy. He was changing this season. Robert Kirkman, he was changing, evolving.
I was trying to find a way out for Rex. I'm watching. I'm like thinking to myself, can he
Me too.
Can he supercharge flesh? I guess not. But what about the clothes that this Mark is wearing? No? Okay. We'll just go for the skeleton.
I was thinking, I'm like, don't go for it. Like, because I saw that big gash in his side. I'm like, oh no. I was like, I didn't think he would take out his whole skeleton. I thought he would take like a bone.
I thought he was going to pull a rib or something.
A rib or a bone. That's the first thing I went to. But like his whole, he started lighting up. I'm like, no. What are you doing? The whole Punisher meme.
We will. But then he left fucking outlines on the wall.
That was a big outline. God damn, Nathan! I was in such state of shock that I'm like, I just couldn't believe it. Maybe when I see a casket, if there is a funeral, maybe if I see a casket, then I'll be emotionally broken. But I was just visibly like exhausted with the whole episode, and I was just like in a state of shock that we could be losing Rex. That was just unfathomable for me.
Yeah, because it's like there's nothing left of him.
No. And this always happens to characters that I love. I feel worse. I get even more emotional for the characters that are left behind. Yeah. In this case, I feel terrible for Ray, who is stepping away.
This has happened to me with surprise, Ben Solo again. Did you see that comic preview of him in his past with everybody?
I've not. I've been spoiler free there, but yeah, it's like his flashback, right?
Yeah, I won't say, but it's some of the most beautiful imagery you could ever hope to see of them.
I can't wait. I had to get a new debit card because there's some bullshit happening. So I haven't been able to read it. It's like Amazon declined it. I'm like, the night of the comic, I've been waiting 4 weeks for this comic to come out. Anyways, I'm gonna read it tonight, and I'll check in with you guys. Because I can't wait. I was reading somebody about it, like short Ben Solo tangent, but they're like, man, like emotional Ben Solo stories in 2025. Oh man, it really brings back the ending that he had. It's just like this character. This is why he's number one, guys. This is why Ben Solo's number one. I knew Charles Soule would be able to like mine some prime emotional Ben Solo, Kylo Ren stories and from what people are saying, that is the case. So there, but yeah, man, it's just I feel bad for Rey. Do you think this is gonna push her to continue being superhero again in honor of Rex? Maybe, I don't know, or maybe just might push her away again.
This might drive her further away because this just goes to show, like, we're gonna die if we continue to do this, and it happened. It just reinforces what she was saying.
Yeah.
But that said, also, it is what Rex died for, and there are so few heroes left.
That's a good point. Everybody died. Everybody's gone. Or most of the people are gone because of the Invincible War. Let's get into that. I was completely wrong because I was only wrong, guys. I said this Angstrom Levy isn't going to be bad because we already saw that before. Why would they do the same thing over again? But to my defense, I thought he was dead. He should have been dead. His head was silly putty.
His head was open,
just like he. I don't know how his mouth was able to talk.
Never see Gallagher hit a watermelon. That's what was left. His tongue was flicking to no lips to enunciate.
There should have been no way his voice box was functioning, or it was just like "save me" or "help me." It's like bullshit.
I know he had like a massive mutated brain, but holy hell!
Like,
but I believe it because
Mark for that one. I can't blame Mark for that one. Where it's like I thought he was dead. I punched his head in.
In a way, I kind of feel, even worse for Mark than I have been because, he was cursed with like the idea that he killed Angstrom, and then he kept ending up kill. And then he kept ending up in situations where he had to kill somebody. But then he doesn't even get the relief of like, oh, it turns out you didn't kill him because, well, now I have killed these people.
Yeah. Wait, who did? What do you mean? Who is Invincible killed?
What?
Who is Invincible killed since Angstrom Levy?
He at the very least he killed the immortal from the way future.
Oh yeah. True. Yeah, and yeah, I think I came in last week, and I'm like, I'm very curious how this Invincible Clone Multiverse War, how is this going to affect Mark's arc? And I talked a lot about how last week the Powerplex arc episode did a great job cementing Mark's arc for this season, which has been a very stellar arc of misunderstandings, grappling with the fear and the terror of the past, where not only is he grappling with Nolan's atrocities, he's grappling with his own atrocity, hence Angstrom Levy. He killed somebody. How does that affect his mentality as a superhero? How does that affect him moving forward? Like, what does it mean to be a superhero for Mark? Does it mean, like, not listening to somebody like Stone Guy? Does it mean, standing up to Cecil? Being a good mentor to Oliver, a son to Debbie? He's trying to do all these things this season. He's grappling with a lot right now. And Powerplex really showcased his lack of acknowledging what came before with the whole Nolan stuff and his own actions, his own responsibilities. Hence, this episode, his own responsibilities come to haunt him, where he didn't, in fact, kill Angstrom Levy. He came back for revenge because he didn't kill him. And I love the moment where he says, like, I've been so worried about, like, how killing Angstrom has affected me, when now I'm like, I really should have just killed him. Like, it's so interesting. It's like, wow, he's really grappling with that. So I think Angstrom Levy surviving, while goofy and stupid, works well for this arc. Like, this is his big, like, this is as much of a nemesis as he can get now. From Mark. Granted, that story seems to be done if we take the ending to his word, where the healing, people from that dimension kind of turned on Angstrom. Yeah. What are they called?
They're just like interdimensional doctors.
Okay, yeah, interdimensional doctors. Whatever. They seem to have turned on Angstrom, and that seemed to be the end of that story. Which I hope is the case, because
for now
the Viltrumite War is way more important and relevant. But yeah, for now at least. Somebody, I didn't get spoiled, but like somebody said, like, post Viltrumite War, there's still a lot to go through. I'm like, oh wow, so like,
right on.
That's really cool.
That said, Evan, the marks of the multiverse fucked Earth, man.
Terrifying and beyond, yeah.
And that goes to the point, is like, we were feeling kind of hopeful when Nolan was telling out, like, there's only like 40 Viltrumites. Like, oh, we got a fighting chance. Look what like 10 marks did to Earth, and they're all coming.
That's a great point. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, because we were all like, okay, bright side is only 40 Viltrumites, but yeah, like, you were exactly right, dude. 10 marks obliterated the Earth, because there's one mark. One mark can only do so much. But I'm surprised there's like 10 marks, and they took out like I think more than 10 probably. But they took out a lot. They only ended up with like 6 or 7 by the end of the day. So a lot of them did get killed in action, but it's still
I think there was like 16 at the start.
16 at the start.
And then I think like 8 by the end. So they only took like half.
But man, across the world, just complete devastation beyond my own comprehension. Like specifically, so like the attack on Eve was gnarly. I still admire Eve. People were bullshitting online though, Nathan. Bullshitting. Why? Because like, where was the Eve from the prologue? And then they showcase like her action scenes or whatever. I'm like, she's fighting a Viltrumite, a cold-blooded, bloodlusted Viltrumite.
Yeah. Are they pointing out where she was fighting humans?
Right? Like, that's not the same as her fighting little kid experiments. They're all like 10 years old in the prologue, in that prologue chapter. But like, this is a Viltrumite bloodlusted out to kill Eve. She's lucky she didn't die. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, it's one thing to go up against like a Powerplex,
right?
But like, a mark. Oh,
and she completely destroyed Powerplex. Like, it wasn't even a question. She handled Powerplex easily. Powerplex isn't even that strong of a villain. He's really not.
No. Especially when you know what gives him his power. Just don't hit him.
Mark and Oliver were like, just hold him still, just hug him a little bit, just hug him a little bit. He'll pass out. That's exactly what he did at the end of the episode.
But
yeah.
but then fighting marks that have no morals to hold back, that's gonna be harder.
That's gonna be it hits harder. But I just love seeing Eve still stand her ground and try her best to help Mark despite his warnings. Like, you got to get out of here. I feel like he could have easily beat one of them. Like one on one. I think Mark is like, I don't like to power rank,
Power scale.
whatever it's called, power scale these people, but like I think Mark is stronger than all the other Marks that came. Mark is stronger than every single one, in my opinion.
He's going one-on-one. Yeah, he can handle them. But then when he's getting ganged up by different angles,
it's a wrap.
It's way trickier. Yeah.
It's a wrap. Because like I think he can beat one-on-one high difficulty, but like 2-on-1 impossible difficulty. Like it's just not happening. He was trying his best against like the 2 against Eve, but it was too much to handle. But he got saved by Cecil of all people, man. Those android fuckers, I forget their names again. They came in to help out. They distracted them. And I love the Cecil and Mark moment where Cecil's like, dude, if you need someone to talk to, it's like, I know we're on different sides. You're probably not going to work with me, but like the world needs you, Mark. And Mark's like, I can't work with you, man, which I respect. But also at the same time, he's like, thank you. I'm like, oh, that was sweet. That was sweet.
That's good. They're just like that like one little like seed plant of they could come back around.
Yeah, exactly. Because again, guys, like this is why I hate people picking sides. Because I was watching a Twitch stream, totally unrelated to Invincible, and somebody asked the follower, it was like, "Are you watching Invincible?" And somebody was like, "Yeah." I said, "Like Mark going crazy this season. What's he doing going against?" I'm like, "How can you not be empathetic towards Mark's resistance towards working towards Cecil? He had a chip in his head, guys. Do you know how invasive that is? People lash out in America about people watching their computer screens. It's like, come on. It's like, anyways, like I completely am empathetic towards Mark and towards Cecil. I think that's the point if you think critically. Anyways, I just love the Mark and Cecil scene so much. I think their relationship in this arc this season is very good.
Totally. Donald's getting in the action, getting scraped up.
That was great. He was like, I gotta go on the front line. The next time we see him, he's like torn up.
Half his face is gone, and it's so funny because he still has like half of his glasses, but like the bridge is going to nowhere.
Yeah.
I was like, how's that staying on?
So that was great. I like Debbie as well. Debbie went straight to her boyfriend's house. A lot of the other Marks were ready to kill Debbie. I'm like, you fuckers. Crazy.
One of them wanted to save her. I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah, one of them wanted to save her. One of them was gay, liked William. Like apparently, like they lost William in the past, and like I want to see William, something like that. And that was confirmed. Like, oh yeah, they had a relationship in that universe. That was very funny. Cool. So yeah, I liked how Debbie survived this episode. Anything I'm missing? It was just there's not a lot, but like just in general. Mark's resistance towards Angstrom at the end of the episode. He was so ready to stay with Eve, which I really admired. Because it's like, imagine being in that position. Everything is going to hell. The world is against you, kind of. It's Invincible versus all these Invincibles. And the one person that has your back that you know can always champion you and love you is Eve. And now she's out of the count. And if you leave, something might happen to her. They might know where she is. Do you stay? Do you go? It's like,
Yeah.
But he hears Angstrom. He knows where his location is, and he has no choice but to go. And their battle, Nathan, peak fucking shit. Good.
My favorite thing in rematches is when the hero learns from the previous fight and doesn't fall into the traps that the villain is so known for. So when Mark was able to not just dodge the different portals, but like the whole fight being him fighting tooth and nail to not get knocked into another portal again and to not end up stranded like he did last time, because that was a 1,000,001 chance that he got saved that time. Odds are he ain't coming back after this one.
It's crazy. Like, I haven't rewatched the fight, but like, as soon as Mark first falls into Angstrom's trap, he lost the battle. Angstrom could have just easily just like kept Mark in there, but Angstrom was toying with Mark.
Yeah.
And that's why Angstrom kind of lost. But like, if Angstrom just gets him in the portal, Angstrom has all the power. There's no way for Mark to get out of there. Like, it's wild. Like, and again, it was a 1,000,001 chance that he ever came back with a whole Eve save in that one dimension craziness. So yeah, it was amazing. And this is kind of like the benefit of like just the first episode of this season, seeing Mark train with Cecil, seeing Mark have the ability to better control his flight and his strength. Because it really comes into play here where his flight control is epic.
Yeah.
Just epic. The way he's just like flying, able to stop, fly, dodge, stop, like, or not even look behind him, knowing there's a portal. He just like can feel it, like, yo, not going back there.
Yeah.
And then just like really put his foot to the ground and fight back. It was just wonderful, wonderful action across the board there.
And I love him like pushing with all of his strength and newfound strength against the bots that were pushing him back. He was literally fighting the current the whole time, and it was such a beautifully detailed showcase and just visuals of the grandiose scale that Mark was facing. Like truly like drowning within it. But then by the end, when Angstrom is trying to escape and Mark like fucking reaches in to pull him back, like, he's not getting away this time, and he can only get his hand and slices off.
That was awful. That was awful. But he almost had him. He had him by the neck. All he had to do was like click, and Angstrom was dead.
Kill him, but
he hesitates. Yeah.
Yeah. And I get
Oliver comes in, kill him, Mark. If you don't do it now,
big worry with that, but also I think it is very clear that in Mark doing like whatever Mark decided to do was going to be the big impact on Oliver and imprint on him. So obviously the good move he did not kill Angstrom.
Again, I didn't even think about that. I kind of should have, but like, yeah, killing Angstrom in front of Oliver would have like justified later actions of Oliver if Oliver was like, "Hey, I saw you kill Angstrom that one time because he had no choice." And even Mark says like, "You made me do this," and he's about to kill him, and then he gets away.
I thought you were stronger.
Yeah, I thought you were stronger. But yeah, he's about to kill him this time. He gets away, only gets the arm, and that's when Angstrom goes to the dimension, and the doctors don't heal him. They're like, "You failed." I forget what the promise was. They said something along the lines of like, "You promised us experimentation," or something along those lines, or whatever. So yeah, Angstrom screwed over the other Invincibles into a random dimension, and then Angstrom gets betrayed in this other random dimension with the interstellar doctors. They kind of like end up experimenting and killing probably this Angstrom, but we don't know. He was off screen, so we don't know what might happen. Probably dead. Safe to say for now. It could come back, yeah. But man, what an exhausting display in off the backs of Powerplex showcasing like the futility of like of Mark's actions and just like the refusal to apologize. We see Powerplex lash out again during the cleanup process. You know, the world is still like loving Invincible's help, but you know, Powerplex and others aren't wrong that this is going to be a day long remembered of just Invincible destroying the world. That being said, given this ending where we are introduced to Conquest, Mark's at his end of the ropes. His girlfriend's still in the hospital. You know, we don't get a scope of how the world feels about Mark, but like I just said, you know, it's probably in every survivor's mind about this whole wreckage, the reckoning. Yeah. We see Conquest show up. This is who Andressa, whatever her name was from season 2. Mbessa? No, I'm thinking of Arcane. Anyways, she warned, hey, this is you prepare your world for the coming of the Viltrumite Empire. This is your warning. Because if I don't come back, there's somebody much worse that will. And that was like her warning. This is the much worse. This is conquest. And he's ready to, pick up on Mark's promise or, the threat saying that, like, hey, prepare your world for Viltrumite conquest. If you don't, we're going to beat your ass, basically, and force you to give up this Earth. Nathan, I'm scared for this finale. Spoiler alert, guys, Mark doesn't die. But what the fuck is going to happen? Like, there's no way I can. Like, I'm rooting Invincible tonight. Like, I'm rushing home to watch this fight. Like, I'm rushing home to watch this fight. They only teased like a short clip of like Conquest. Did you watch the clip, by the way? I don't want to say anything.
No.
Okay, I don't want to say anything. But like, I'm just like, I have no idea what this fight is going to be. Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Conquest seems very good to me. I like that voice. Straight off of The Boys.
He's great.
He's always very good. And they said this is Stephen Yeun versus Jeffrey Dean Morgan round 2, given the Walking Dead scenario.
Revenge.
Last time they met, it didn't work out for Stephen Yeun, but we'll see what happens this week. I just know Mark can't lose. But putting that in my mind, does Mark kill Conquest? Does Mark? I don't know. I don't. Does Cecil come in and help save the day? Does Oliver do a killing blow on Conquest, guys?
Could this come back? Yeah, could this be the introduction of Alan Nolan coming in for the defense? I posed the question, Evan. If we get to a point where the entire Viltrumite Empire is invading Earth,
we're fucked.
And yes, but if we get to that point and like everybody on Earth is seeing the invasion of the Viltrumites, and we see Earth see Omni-Man fighting off all of them to protect Earth, does that sway public opinion enough for Nolan to exist around here? Or maybe not. At least not for the victims, but
let him live off in hiding or something.
I think that we're always in agreement on that. I just wondered, like, if in that scenario, if there's any leeway, if you see.
I think there's leeway in terms of public opinion. It'll be mixed, I say. I think mixed to like just thank you, Nolan, but we still hate you kind of thing. Again, he kind of like the 9/11 of this place.
There's been like 9/11s the entire globe
every week. Yeah,
it was like 15.
we just saw one last week. Like the whole Invisible War was a 9/11 attack. And this was a bigger scale than what Nolan did, right? Easily. So
yeah.
So wow, and this was all Invincible. This was all Mark. Granted, Mark wasn't doing it, but he wasn't. So this is just crazy. I have no idea where this fight's going to end or how it's going to work out, but that's very exciting for me. I'm going to try and stay spoiler free. I can't even predict what's going to happen. But just to theorize about Mark's arc, this is a Mark who has been progressively grappling with his darker identity, and he's now pushed to his limit. And he says, "I really want to hit something." And Conquest, you're in front of me, motherfucker.
He could take it.
In Conquest, like he's beefy. He had a golden arm or something. Fuck! Like, what was that? That's not fair. Like, what is that? Man,
the amount of time I've seen super flying people, and I just think, can you throw them into the sun?
Like, right? If Mark loses like an eye here, does his eyes grow back? Does his limbs grow back, guys? If Mark's arms get cut off, does Mark grow them back? He can't, right? He's not Wolverine.
I don't know the extent of the healing process.
I feel like he's getting his ass beat today.
Even in the realm of like Viltrumites being able to, if they can heal like that, I think Mark's half human is gonna slow him down to heal.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I don't know. You think he's gonna lose an eye and shit?
I feel like he's gonna lose something. There's gonna be a scar or something. I don't know. Maybe not. I'm just theorizing.
Maybe he could lose an arm. I mean, we got good tech with Cecil. Just look at Donald. who died over 30 times.
We do.
I think that's why you're holding out for hope that Rex can still be brought back.
Big time.
Robo Rex.
So that was Invincible. Great episode. Sad episode. Wonderful season. Cannot wait to talk about the finale next week. Perfect timing. 1 hour, and we reached the next segment here. Daredevil, Born Again. Episode 3. Solid episode. Didn't love it, but I was super engaged with it. I think, I tweeted out how it trades in the vicious, the kung fu, the action that we come to love from this show with a more courtroom procedural drama, the highs and lows of a courtroom drama that we didn't really get that much in the original series.
Sure. I always argue that I love Matt clearing a courtroom just as much as the Daredevil action, if not more so. I'm always on the edge of my seat of like, how is Matt gonna knock them on their ass in the court? It's always a delight to see how he like outsmarts, outmaneuvers, and just like as good as his biblical monologues are, so too are his defense against his clients.
But we haven't even seen it that much, right? Like, I think we saw it a lot in like season 3 a little bit. No, season 3 he was out of it, right?
There'll be a fair bit of scenes throughout the series. There's a great intro scene in the Defenders that's like almost a one take of him like walking around and clearing this case. It's really good.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm missing. I haven't watched that. I kind of blocked Defenders from my mind. Not a bad series, but just forgettable. I do like call me basic, but the Daredevil, the hallway scene and stuff like that. That was pretty funny. With the whole Defenders group. What a time, 2017.
Shit. Aged me, because like that was like I think my second year on YouTube.
Oh wow. 100 videos in, right?
Probably.
Oh really? I was kidding.
I have over 1,200 videos right now.
1,200 makes no sense to me. I didn't know you were pulling out that kind of shit.
I have a lot of reactions, Evan.
Shit.
A lot of trailers.
I
used to be on that shit. It's Super Bowl Sunday. I can't sit and watch the whole game. I gotta avert my eyes, go watch the trailer online.
Nice. But yeah, this was a very engaging court case. Let me get my negatives out the way for this episode and for the series as a whole.
Oh.
The whole Kingpin stuff. I talked about it last week. I just don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to glean from their relationship, Fisk and Vanessa's. It's predicated on shit that we don't see. Like, and let me break this down in a sense. Because they're going to therapy, and I'm like, what is she super upset about? Is it that like Vanessa was in charge of the Kingpin Empire, which again we only saw for like one scene. We don't know how long it's been happening. And then Fisk all of a sudden comes back post surgery following his, either his shot in Hawkeye or whatever Echo did to him at the end of Echo, where she fucked him up with her powers. Which again, I've heard more than one people tell me like that's why Fisk is acting the way he is because of what Echo did to him at the end of Echo. I'm like, don't tell me that's having a critical part of his arc in the Daredevil Born Again show. I'm not going to believe that. It's bullshit. Because if that is the case, how inviting that is. Like if I'm kind of like trying difficulty tracking Fisk's arc this season, what about people who didn't watch any of these shows? They're just like, hey, I like Daredevil. Can I come in? This show isn't as welcoming as I think it is supposed to be. It's like it's not as clean of a slate as I think it's supposed to be. Like you're watching this, you see Bullseye. Who is this guy, for example? And then Fisk, where's he coming back from? Why are him and Vanessa so at odds right now? Aren't they supposed to be husband and wife? Is it because he cheated on some random guy named Adam? What are we doing here? It's just like I'm so lost with the relationship, Nathan. I don't know why they're upset with each other. What is Fisk? Is he really trying to be an upstanding mayor? But he obviously isn't. I'm like, what am I supposed to glean from this arc?
Well,
help me.
It's still early. I think more pieces will fall to give a bigger picture. I think given just the inherent response to the criminal organization that Fisk used to run, I think he might genuinely be trying to be a better person.
That's what I think is happening. And I think, sorry to interrupt, but I think that's what I think from my brain, that's kind of like the logic I think the writer's trying to go with here.
Mhm.
Daredevil Born Again is you're getting these dual intersecting arcs. They're trying Fisk and Matt are trying to be born again. Daredevil, Matt is trying to go through justice through the judicial system as a lawyer. Fisk is like trying to do better through the political sector, being a mayor, trying to do better. And they're both battling their darker halves. We saw Matt battling his darker half at the end of episode 2, where he's like, I'm warning you fuckers, and he goes off. So he's constantly trying to battle his darker half. He Fisk as well, also trying to battle his darker half, but failing at the same time because he's still threatening motherfuckers. But like, so okay, continue on because Fisk is genuinely trying to be mayor, right? I think that's a check. I think he's upset, or Vanessa's upset at him because she was like, there used to be order. I was running shit in your absence. But because Fisk is trying to be mayor, she can't run anything anymore, right? She can't do these under the cart dealings. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it's like, I think there's an understanding frustration with Vanessa, which I think we go off of the initial connection between Fisk and Vanessa is like Fisk wanted to keep her out of that side of him, that criminal side, but then
in the original series.
Yeah, but then I think ultimately when it was obvious that's who he is, but she still had feelings for him, I think she decided to step into that realm whether she wanted to or not, and she genuinely embraced it full force up to the point of even running it for him while he was gone, and now he's coming back trying to step out of that, and now she's invested so much of herself to that to become a figure that keeps people in line that will definitely fear, because fear is their ultimate power to keep people in line. So now she's become this figure who she otherwise wouldn't have been if she never met Fisk, put all this investment in, and now he comes back and it's like, I'm not.
Now she's good at it too.
And she's good at it. And now that Fisk wants to not really worry about that anymore and more so focus on the political thing, I can see why she would be a bit irked by that. And then also she does believe that that Fisk had a problem with her fling with Adam, which he may be a character to come further. We don't know, but
I hope so, or maybe not. It's it just feels so out of the blue for me.
It might, but also that could also, Fisk has said that doesn't bother him, and it very well might not, and it could just be Vanessa feeling a sense of guilt for that, but then also reasonably being upset of having to take on the work that he spent so much of his time with. And so she converted herself to work with that, and now he doesn't want to be a part of it all. And it's funny because Fisk is still a bad person. He's a bad political person as well because he's using manipulation. He's using his criminal tactics in this era of being a politician, but he genuinely is doing it so that he could get to the right thing he believes is right for the city. The expulsion of vigilantes, even though we know they help, he genuinely is believing they don't, so he's trying to fix that. And he threatens the commissioner and stuff to get things done because he believes it'll get to that end goal of the city will become a better place, but they has to be done through this way with an iron fist or whatever.
Exactly. And now she's kind of like a stay-at-home mom with nothing to watch over, right? She stay-at-home mom with the kids off to college, where she can't even control the empire because I think he's telling her to not do too much. But as we see at the beginning of this episode, where there's certain gangs going wrong, I was kind of confused. I'm like, why are these gangs going after each other? The truck driver says do you know who we are? And the guy kind of laughs. And I'm like, oh, is this a rival gang? But no, it's actually revealed like these are both gangs who were working under Kingpin, correct?
It's like infighting.
Like infighting. And then the British dude comes over later on in the episode and pays one of them off, saying, okay, you owe him, but now here's 1.8 billion, whatever, million. And all is clear. We get to the therapy session, and it's revealed that Kingpin, didn't send him, but she did, correct? She's the one who sent him there, which Kingpin did not know, and he's upset about because he went behind his back. She went behind his back.
Was he upset about that? I thought he was like okay with that, but
I didn't get the sense that he was okay with it because he was like, I think she was like, "I'm sorry, I went over your back," or like, I went like, you're not used to me doing things that you were unaware of, or something like that. Like, I don't think Kingpin likes her doing stuff that he's not aware of, right? Because then how can he control the narrative in that case if he's just going to do stuff willy-nilly? And he wasn't okay with that because he wants oppression. Remember, that was the main thing. He's like, I want the infighting. I want the chaos. That way there can be a lot of chaos, and then I, as a mayor, can suppress the chaos. It's very much like we're watching Andor. This is some Luthen tactics. This is some Luthen rail tactics where he was like, I want the Empire to crush down on us. I want them to get messy. I want them to get the crushing down on us. Why? So the rebellion can grow. Like certain people want chaos. Fisk, I think, wanted chaos so he can continue his political agenda, being like, see, there's chaos. You need me. It's kind of like the bashing the window. You need security, don't you now? Because you need me now. I think that's kind of what Fisk is running on here with this discussion he had with Vanessa.
Sure.
So that was the whole Fisk thing. I'm just like, and then I'm like, okay, I'm kind of confused, but at least we got his therapy session. Then they cut away. I'm like, it's like, what are we doing?
They do, but I do believe we'll genuinely get like a full scene of, I think we'll get a couple more full scenes of like actual sessions that deep dive. I think it'll be like two sides. I think it'll be like the face that they're both putting on to like the public and their therapists, but we'll also have context of like the greater inner working dealings that they work with. That like we'll hear some responses be like, oh, but actually, in respond to that, and I think it'll all come big picture. This isn't new either for like the series. Like we get like a little bit of planting of like a character feeling a certain way, and it's like, why is it that? And it comes out more greater later.
I hope so. Just like I'm just not used to this. Like I think in at least season 1, which again, PTV guys, masterful television, I was just so locked in on each dialogue flashback session with Fisk, and I could easily track where his arc was going for season 1 and season 3. Season 2 is like kind of much more of a chaotic, neutral character.
From what I heard, episode 2 and 3, this episode, were originally the first couple episodes. So, and if they were going to do, like lay the groundwork of these ideas, and then we'll get them further enveloped as we go on.
That could make sense where they're just setting the stage. Again, I just think that like I don't know, because I was talking to somebody at work. I'm the TV guy at work at my school, and they were like, I was watching Daredevil, but like do I need to watch season 1 through 3? And I'm kind of like, I just don't think it's as inviting for somebody who's completely fresh. Maybe I'm wrong, and people are just fine watching this show. But I'm just like, if I'm watching this show, no hold bars, just like, oh, cool. I'm watching ABC Family. I see an ad about Daredevil. That looks fun. Let me go watch this show. Will you be lost? I think so. I'm not sure.
Well, probably, but as much as you look at it and it's like this is a show with a brand new title and it's marked as season 1, episode 1. It's like it is season 4.
It is season 4. It's
season 5 if you count Defenders, because even if you don't want to, a lot of fucking Daredevil development in Defenders. Like for you go into season 3 and it's like Stick died, Electric died, Matt.
Which is so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate because like I forgot Stick died in Defenders. Wow. Because like it's hard to just binge that or tell somebody just, hey, just binge Daredevil, because you got to force them to watch Defenders. Which again, Defenders isn't bad. it's just very mediocre for me.
The hand is just gone because they were dealt with in Defenders.
Yeah. But anyways,
but,
yeah. So
it's the same characters, right? So like,
yeah,
it's the same fair. It's like you jump into a series. Like if I go to watch the fucking Fast X, and it's like, how the fuck did we get here in between the first Fast Furious? Well, yeah, a lot of shit happened. If I go and watch Infinity War, yeah, it's a fun time, but like, why is Captain America on the run in Wakanda and like all these different things?
But
like,
those shows aren't billed as like this is not season. This show isn't billed as season 4. Like
mostly it is.
Then just say season 4. Can they not do that
yes.
for branding?
Well, I know there was always like a big thing with like, this is like a thing with like Disney Channel and like kid shows, which would be like after the 3rd season, usually the 3rd or 4th season, then like the cost of the actors goes like way up. So like usually shows will either just be completely canceled or they'll get revamped with a brand new title, because then it technically gets to start off as the season 1 price of hiring people.
I've heard about that as well. It's a great point. I think we saw that a lot in like the CW era, where a lot of shows were just getting canceled left and right because of that stuff. But yeah, so yeah, that's my kind of weakness. But getting to the good stuff here, I want to get his name right. The guy who played Hector, great actor. Rest in peace. Let me see. Let me get his actor. But yeah, he was just so good here. Camar De Los Reyes, 56 years old. So unfortunate, so sad. Battling cancer, and the showrunner and the writers were like, they weren't really aware of his situation, but he was just powering through it. It kind of reminds me of Chadwick Boseman and how he didn't tell a lot of people besides his close loved ones, and he was just continuing to put in some excellent work, especially in his last role, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, whatever it's called. He was just phenomenal in there. So he does a lot of great work, and that's why I'm so upset by the ending of this episode where he's killed. I'm just like, I get why some people are upset there, because like there's some great. I think this was one of the first Latino Hispanic superheroes for Marvel, at least, and now he's just killed, just so they can invite Punisher into the mix here. And I'm just like, granted, that wasn't Punisher, guys. We know that we're not 6 years old.
But like, you are meant to be like, oh, what? I think it's more so like the public will be like, put the Punishers back on the streets, and I think that's gonna trigger Frank into action.
Frank's gonna be like, no.
Okay. Wait, no, he's gonna be
pissed,
silent and deadly, fucking taking everyone out.
Is Matt gonna know that, or Matt's gonna be pissed at Frank, and then they're gonna be fighting?
No, I think Matt. Well, it's hard to know because like Matt can't see these designs printed, unless it's physically spoken.
Is that a blind joke?
No, he literally can't like a tattoo print. He can't make out the fucking printing shape. The spray paint, he can't.
Yeah, it's gonna be all over the news though.
For sure. Like, it's absolutely gonna be like the person wearing the Punisher skull running around because is Frank Castle back in town and shit like that. And then he's probably is gonna go looking for a fight with Frank, who's gonna be equally pissed. They're gonna have it out until things level out.
They fight and then they're mates, baby. Love it. So yeah, I think Matt's gonna be confused and angry, as he should be, because he just had a phenomenal court case. A little bit unbelievable in our current day and age, but I love it.
I mean, a little unethical on Matt to out.
What the fuck? I was pissed. I was like, damn, fuck you, Matt. But it worked out.
I would be very pissed too. However, I do see that was the only option, and I feel like the only like real repentance other than getting him off the case would be like, Matt, you could probably tell we're Daredevil. It's probably all right.
Did you watch that show, Presumed Innocent, on Apple TV with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This episode reminded me of like some of the court cases in that series, where it was just like a lot of like ups and downs, and just like, do you really put Hector onto the stand? Like, is that gonna be good? Do you really reveal X, Y, and Z? Like, is that really good?
So this kind of jumps ahead a bit, but Matt exploring the idea of a really strong fucking case of like bringing in testimony of people who Hector saved as the White Tiger, and also testimony from police officers as well on the record.
That was great. That was great.
That's great. Shout out Officer Morales. I think Haha.
Oh, you think that's a Miles reference?
I think so because they recently changed him from Davis to Morales.
Would they call him Miles? Would they call him Morales in the movie though, or in the MCU though, not
Yeah.
Davis?
Across the Spider-Verse is doing it.
Well, yeah, but he was Jefferson Davis in the first movie.
That makes it even more like, what the hell? Why is he a different last name?
Well, yeah, because
Even
I don't
Morley
know.
says Jefferson Morales at the very end.
Well, yes,
That's who he is.
but like his comic book character started off for years as Davis. It's very recently that they call him Morales.
He could take his wife's name because
He should.
As far as it goes, Aaron Davis is also in the MCU.
Yeah,
played by Donald Glover.
Jefferson Davis was always a weird name to me.
Yeah,
and I don't know why it took comic book creators to be like, oh wow, wait a minute, Jefferson Davis, the leader of the Confederate Army. It's like, yeah, that's weird, right?
It's very weird. It's like that episode of Abbott where it was like, oh yeah, look, our national landmark of our school name was named after a
racist guy who had slaves. Oof.
Man.
I'm almost caught up on season 3, guys. I'm like 4 episodes behind. I'm slowly catching up.
Oh, we're on season 4 now.
Season 4. Oh, it's season 4. That's what I meant.
You had me worried there.
Anyway.
But yeah, I think that would be Jeff. Anyway, bringing the reports not only for the testimony of like the normal citizens, but the police as well. At that point, the people believe it. The police believe. He points at the crowd of people who are all against him. The police believe it. He's a good guy. And then it is funny that the immediate prosecution comes up, and that lawyer is like, plenty of evil people doing good things, and plenty of good people are capable of evil things. Like, you can say that about anybody for anything ever.
I respect it. Because that was a great case by Matt, and the only solution, the only play was that play to be like, well, good people can do bad things, but bad people can do good things. But that was such a weak argument, though.
I do commend him with a 1-2 punch of that. Is like, first he teased that up, and then like the heavy hitter is like, do you know what happens when you're hit by a train? And then gruesome detail.
Which is bullshit. You're eviscerated. Yeah. You're not just like, oh, you really die when the train back. Let me see the autopsy reports. That's bullshit.
Is this Engstrom Levy we're talking about? There's no way.
Right? Jalen and I paused it, and we were in tears laughing. Because I was like, no, can we
you don't die until the train backs up, and then you obliterate. I'm like, what are you talking? You think you're just like, you think you're just a fucking pancake on the windshield? You're just like, no. Stop it. Get some help.
I would love to be a witness, because I would have to raise my hand. I'm like, sir, that's bullshit.
You have the medical records to back that?
Yeah. You're dead on impact. On impact. Instantly. You look, train, boom, dead. There's no like, couple of seconds or whatever of pain and suffering. You're dead. It's like saying you fall from the sky, you hit the ground, but you're still alive until somebody scoops up your. No, you're just dead on impact.
Well, if we look at Dex's body in episode 1,
right?
That said, I do believe there was someone like you on the jury who went in after. I was like, guys.
Yeah, that probably was sold to the prosecution. Like, this guy's an idiot. What are we doing here?
It was over the second Matt sat down.
Yeah, it was over the second Matt sat down, because I was like, what do you mean the whole like that would bug the fuck out of me if I was in the jury and they were just like, I would just make so many jokes about that prosecution. That was just bad. But yeah, that was very funny. I missed a very serious scene. I'm so with you. Like, I think the whole reveal of the identity was kind of sus, but it really worked out, because I talked about this last week, where it was very interesting how Matt's dealing with corrupt cops and Fisk is dealing with good cops under the commissioner, who was like stepped aside, and they're both dealing with cops in different manners. Matt is forced to, work outside of the law in a sense, where he had to go to the guy's house and beat up some guys trying to take his witness. But then he worked with the law in this episode. Fisk, on the other hand, illegally, immorally, threatened the commissioner. And this week, after his loss, he goes outside of the law once again for Fisk. And it was just very interesting seeing Matt now deal with the repercussions of corrupt justice system, but he's fighting a corrupt system by still fighting within the judicial system. I thought that was very fascinating. Like he doesn't take the loss because early on in the episode, his early loss is the witness, where they successfully get him there to court through some Houdini hijinks. Love it. And the witness gets to the stand and sells. He kind of, lies to the jury.
I hate it, but also like you can see it coming because like this is a sea of cops that hate him.
Yeah,
right in front of him.
Sea of cops that hate him.
Because like, all right, we get like he says what we need to, and then Hector gets out. And like, what happens to Nikki Torres? They're gonna get him.
Yeah, they're gonna get him. So it's like you're saying that like if he does tell the truth here, the cops are just gonna hate him and just kill him afterwards, or just
I mean, like one cop that leaned over and was like, "We can't let him testify." Like, they were already making plans, and he had a fucking Punisher tattoo on his neck. They're all corrupt by the Punisher message.
So that was very fascinating. Seeing Mark or Matt take that L there. I didn't really know where they were going to go, so I was very surprised by the swing from Matt there. But again, I like the back and forth. I like the Cherry dynamic. Cherry's such a great character for me. He's not doing the most, but he's just a very supportive character. I like that. He does his role very well.
It's very
same thing for the
like Batman and Gordon.
For sure. You're not going to expect Gordon to have like this big crazy arc in any of the Batman movies, but he's just a very great sounding board for Batman, especially in the Batman Law and Law, like iconic shit there. And then I like the DA lady once again, her Matt's partner. Well, I'll be very pissed about. Like we were having drinks all night, and you didn't tell me any of your plans, dude. Fuck you. With the whole reveal. So yeah, I think it was just very good. One of the special scenes as well when Matt is pondering in the court outside or in the court after it all ends, kind of like alluding to him being in a church where he's fumbling with the Daredevil horn in his finger. Great scene.
Good stuff. I love the testimony from Hector on the stand when he's not only just talking about the situation, but like how he got a studio apartment for his family to move into. It was gonna be a surprise. It hurts even more so come episode end, but it was really nice to see like his wife, who was kind of like falling out of grace with him, like come back full circle, appreciative of him and the man that he is, of being such a caring individual for her and their niece, who will become White Tiger eventually.
Yeah, I heard about that, where it's like we lost White Tiger here in a very sad fashion, but we could get him down the line. Give me a second. Keep on talking.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, that'll be a wonderful thing to see. I know that also in the realm of the White Tiger, currently I think his wife, I believe, is the present White Tiger, because I think the amulet like fully corrupts the niece, that version of the character. So now currently it's her aunt, so the wife, who's the present White Tiger. I believe that's the case. So a lot of examples available for the future, but it is interesting to see how that will play out.
Wouldn't that take a lot of time, though?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, she's young, but like she's at an age where like she could definitely like in the next like couple of years like grow into like that young Avenger age and join that roundup.
Again, it's just that I'm so disappointed because like, man, the White Tiger has so much like influence for the Latino community, Hispanic community, and they just shot in the head. I'm like, it leaves a sour note in my mouth. Granted, like his passing, it does make it like, semi-convenient. It's just so unfortunate. Rest in peace.
Absolutely. I immediately after the episode, I went to go look up White Tiger's powers. I was like, "Can you heal?
Can he heal from a gunshot wound?" He just walks up. Like,
yeah, trying to find, but maybe not, unfortunately. However, there have been people who have been shot in the head in this Netflix realm and have come back, so I'm delusional.
They have?
Apparently. But also with the fact that the actor is no longer with us, I don't know if they'll go any route of a recast. I think they'll just stick with moving to the next White Tiger. But it is so depressing to like the whole crescendo of the episode being, we were able to get the case through, and like I'm genuinely was watching. I was like, I don't know how the jury is going to go, and I was laid with every verdict on murder in the first degree, not guilty, second degree, not guilty, charged of manslaughter, not guilty. Genuinely, I was like right along with Hector, feeling that relief.
I was cheering. I was surprised. I thought it was gonna be a no, or I think it would be guilty, forcing Matt to go to his Daredevil side. Like, man, the justice system failed me. I have to go become Daredevil again. But I like that he succeeded, but then he still failed. It's such a up and down episode.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be. The animation was so great, so beautiful.
So beautiful. I was genuinely thinking there was going to be a situation where, when Matt was telling him, you can't put on that suit anymore, you can't be White Tiger moving forward, that Matt was going to reveal to make him feel better that like he is Daredevil, and that Hector was going to make him promise, well, if I can't do it, you have to do it. You have to come back and do this. Because Daredevil's been gone for so long.
Great scene, by the way, where Matt's basically talking to himself. He was like, you can't be White Tiger anymore. There's some things vigilantes just can't do. You have to go like within the law, do things a right way. Like, he's trying to convince himself why he stopped being Daredevil. He's really talking to himself that entire scene.
He did also have, he had a poignant line as well that was like, I think you'll be surprised how much you don't miss it. Yeah.
I'm just like, Matt, I think
I do believe that. I don't think he wants that burden of being Daredevil. Like, he doesn't want to have to be that.
Yeah, no. He feels like all it causes is failure, loss.
That's why he's rocking around with that horn.
Exactly, just a constant physical reminder. So yeah, I just thought that was a very interesting scene where he's kind of like convinced himself. It reminded me of Last of Us Part 2. Very weird comparison. Where like Tommy's talking to Ellie about like why she shouldn't go, and he basically convincing himself why he should go to Seattle. But yeah, it was a great moment for Matt, and then at the end, unfortunately, White Tiger does get shot. I do love the Kokoi, the whole beach symbolism there, where he's somewhere in the freedom of the beach. He'll get there one day, Hector. And then at the end of the episode, the credits, you hear like the beaches, the sand, the water. Very beautiful.
Hear them singing. That's especially beautiful because this was a beautiful thing to be pointed out to me because I was watching some breakdowns. Every character who has a form of belief system, whatever they believe their afterlife to be, is what manifests for them in the afterlife, no matter the character. It's clear within Wakanda. It's clear with Khonshu and like the fields, and even like Rocket with like the eternal sky. Like, it was all like, and even Jane, when she was Thor, became into Valhalla. Like, every single like interpretation that you believe manifests for you, which is a really comforting thing for everybody in this universe. I think they don't know it obviously, but like, for us knowing like the idea of like they're in a better place is fact.
Agreed. Yeah, it's very sweet and wholesome reminder for all these heroes. You're not just going straight to hell.
What's that look like?
Right.
We got a demon in Agatha, which was crazy as fuck. Chilling on her
wild. That was weird.
That was a good episode.
That was a good episode. Yeah. That's when I realized I was like, Agatha could be a good show. Yeah. And then, that's the end of the episode. Just like we're going to get some Punisher next week, as Frank, again, is not going to be happy about people using his name in the wrong way.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that moves forward and see what other difficulties Fisk faces after this. Let's dive into some trailers to end out this episode, man. Yeah. Let's talk about The Last of Us Part 2.
I can cue that
Season 2, I mean. Thank you, man. I only saw the trailer one time, so it'll be fun to break this down with you. But I saw some new and original material here. some new and material from the games as well. They're really mixing it up for us. Oh, I like this overlay. This is new.
Yeah, I did a custom tonight. Much better.
Nathan, okay. Yeah. Cool. Cooking. There we go. I didn't know what to use there. By the way, most watched trailer for 80 HBO or Max show.
Really?
Wow. I was like, this is over certain Game of Thrones trailers? Like, that's crazy. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll see. So yeah, we're gonna watch it in normal tone here, and then we'll go back and dissect the shit out of this.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Don't step on the glass, Ellie.
You know me. I throw bottles. You throw bricks.
Always got to carry the bricks. Better durability.
Why is
everything's fine here, right?
Why does the show look so good?
It looks beautifully
Who shot this?
The museum sequence, Nathan.
Am I gonna cry? Am I gonna see the skeleton of the dinosaur?
I hope so.
Jackson, on it.
You got Uncle Joel here.
People. She looks so good as Dina.
Perfectly cast. The Seraphites.
Man.
The Wolf. WLF.
This feels so grand.
They're upscaling the scale of this season and what we saw from the games. Like this was never in the games. This whole battle for Jackson.
Yeah.
Cool. I got some theories about that, by the way. But we got. Oh man, I can't wait. Great kiss.
Space.
There's a very good chance you'll be dead. You're gonna lose.
Oh my God. Spores.
Man.
Don't you know what he did?
Ooh.
Man.
God, this show is gonna be brutal, guys. It's insane. Oh, heartbreak.
Oh, Evan, I need to watch this.
What a great trailer.
I need to see this in theaters.
Right? Why do we only get 7 episodes of this?
Man.
Why? I'm upset that we get 7 episodes, but at the same time, if you're giving me 2 more seasons, 1 more, like season 4 is not what I ever thought we'd get from doing 3 seasons of part 2 is wild to me. I still can't fathom it. But yeah, breaking this all down, going into slow-mo speed here. This is Ellie in Jackson. Her and Dina are, doing their scouting mission at the beginning of the game / beginning of the story. So this is when they go into that supermarket area with her and Dina. Ellie and Dina here. That's why she's wearing the winter jacket. This is where she first runs into what we call stalkers in the game. So a new breed of clickers or infected.
Evan, I always flash back when I was playing. I love the playthrough of the Last of Us games, but especially when I was playing part 1, I was so fucking scared sometimes, Evan, when I was playing at night. I'm like, it's a very infested area that I'm trying to maneuver. I'm like, oh fuck. I think there was like one like abandoned office building where they were fucking everywhere.
Yeah. In the downtown area. Awful.
Yeah. Or what always fucking gets me, because also Naughty Dog, it's like when I played the first Uncharted game and I was like in like the hull of that ship and I was like cornered.
The zombies.
There's so many. Oh my god. Fucking I need them to stop.
You just had a running gun. Good shit.
Good watch.
Good Joel's watch. Time stopped for him. These are firefly pendants here. This is Abby's funeral. This is where she'll be overlooking her dad, Joe, I think. John Jacob Jing Hyperspace.
His name
was
grave.
My name
too.
Yeah.
His grave was my grave too.
So yeah, this is not for who. I don't think this is for spoiler alert once again. We're gonna be spoiling everything whenever we have this conversation. Me and Nathan have played the game multiple times. At least I have. So everything is spoilers for Last of Us Season 2. So if you want to be spoiler free, goodbye. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't think this is Joel's funeral thing. I think people automatically think that, but these are Firefly pendants. So I think this is more so for Abby's case.
Yeah.
And plus, if you look around, it's like bright, sunny trees. This is Utah.
The bigger showcase for Joel is when like so much is left at Joel's front door and his whole yard.
Exactly. And we're going to be seeing more of that impact that he has on Jackson in this series compared to the show. Compared to the game. This is, of course, Ellie in the flashback scene with Joel in the museum. One of the most beautiful chapters in Naughty Dog history, I think. It's just a phenomenal chapter of her. The last time her and Joel were ever on beautiful terms. Everything is so wholesome and happy. After this sequence is when she starts questioning more and more about her past at the hospital.
This scene almost looks dreamlike in a sense. It's like so beautifully saturated and like just otherworldly in a sense. It looks so rich.
It's so rich and wholesome. And it's just so sad. Whenever I play this game, I'm like, man, I get to this point. I'm like, this is the last time they'll ever be happy together.
Man.
So yeah, this is Jackson, and yeah, they'll be exploring. Craig and Neil Druckmann said that they'll be exploring more about the Jackson town than they did in the game. So this is Joel with his nephew, the kid played by the kid who is Tommy and Maria's child.
Yeah,
who they didn't have a child in the game, but now they do. Cool.
Yeah. It is very impressive how they were able to age Pedro up twice. In the series, like from the first episode and the rest of the season 1 to now.
Yeah. Joel's own house.
It's such a good house. Good pick.
Great house. Holy shit, man.
You know somebody in town?
I wonder who. But yeah, Joel giving her the guitar. I hope she can play that all the time, right? She would never be able to stop playing it, right?
Yeah. Love it. Love the lights.
I never forget seeing the first teaser trailer for the game and seeing that same shot. I'm like, oh, we're so back.
Look at them. Look at them.
Ellie and Dina. Love them so much. Love them so much. I want them all the best. Wish them all the best. So yeah, this is the stalker character. The stalker. Like, look behind you. I think this is where Dina comes up and just shoots it in the head. But yeah. So this is a stare fight. So people like to think this is where we get the whole Lev and his sister scene, but I don't think so. They have not been cast for season 2. So while this may look one for one like the scene in season 2 or part 2 where Abby is hung up and she gets saved by Lev, they're saving that for season 3, I still think. This is just an earlier scene showcasing the terror of the Sarah fights and the WLF. We're not seeing Abby, Lev, and Yara. That's her name, Yara. I don't think that's my early theory. I could be wrong completely, but I don't think we'll see Lev, Yara, and all that kind of stuff until season 3. This just that's a black guy getting hanged. So I think it's just somebody else. If that is a black guy getting hanged, this show is that's kind of semi-controversial, but anyways, so this is the WLF. This is the people that have taken over Seattle against the Seraphites. Kind of like a civil war going on there, but they obviously have more of the manpower. They are the regiment soldiers versus the religious Seraphites. Religion versus invaders, basically. And then this is Abby's crew. Abby in the center there, played by Caitlin Dever. Then you have Owen to the right, followed by what's Owen's girlfriend name? Mel. Yeah. Mel. Then who is that behind Mel? It doesn't look like the black. That's not a black girl. Who the fuck is that? I don't know. Either. I went blanking on. Mel, I know that the guy in the bottom left, that's Falcon. That's what's his name? Danny Ramirez. Yeah. Playing the Latino guy from Abby's crew, Abby's best friend. I forget his name.
Right.
But yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, I'm wrong. That is second to the left. That is Tatia. That is a black girl. That is a black girl. She's just lighter skinned in the snow. Anyways, so yeah, we're getting a larger scale battle of Jackson that never happened in the game, but cool, awesome. So there is a stampede that attacks Joel and Tommy in the game, and you can just assume that stampede continues now.
Wow,
that never happened in the game, but holy shit, that's awesome! Look at all those extras and CGI.
Yeah.
Wow.
Such great casting for Tommy.
Great casting. I'm a huge fan of Gabriel Luna.
Gabriel. Seattle Day One.
Yeah, this is Dabby. This is Dina and Ellie there. Random Seraphite, I think.
So,
but that's cool. He's with her, so like this is going to give you a preview, I think, of two people. To my theory, at least, two people who are against the Seraphites. Maybe. That's my early theory. They could be like a juxtaposition to like Lev, and not a juxtaposition, but just like a placeholder for like what we'll see later with Lev and Yara. So yeah, this is I think some of the subway with Dina and Ellie still in the subway area.
I think so. Jesse,
Jesse. I can like visualize all these moments from the game. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So this is when they kiss. I think this is when she doesn't take the gas mask. I think.
Yeah.
Tells her about her secret.
Evan.
Oh boy! Once you're right on the money there with the lighting. They're really trying to make this as like beautiful and incredible. Yeah.
Truly. Like I would live here, man. This is great.
Right. And this is a scene we did not see in the game at all. It could be an original Joel and Ellie scene the night. I don't know when. Maybe when she gets the first tattoo. This is a new tattoo.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It's not like fully filled in yet either. It's like in between.
Yeah, this could be when they first arrived, maybe.
Yeah, I think Joel's gonna be all about it. It's like it's very smart to cover up the scar with the tattoo.
For sure. And this scene is out for blood. Who is he facing? Chasing after? Yeah, we know who that is. So yeah, this is our first scene of Jeffrey Wright, interrogating that's a Seraphite prisoner. So he's interrogating a Seraphite prisoner because they are at war with each other. And this is Spores. Spores are confirmed to be back in season 2. They were not in season 1. Remember, they had the whole root system that people were not fans of. Right. I didn't really care. I didn't mind it. I was cool with it. But we are getting Spores now.
The idea of it like reawakening others that are dormant, that's cool idea.
I like that idea. I know. I'm with you. So yeah, the way it just blows out, there's some cool visual effects here. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Ooh.
Really cool.
Oh no, the ladder.
Holy shit. Is that a survivor? That's Abby.
That's Abby, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they are really extending this. Pause it. This is interesting. This is the guy who was in charge of the weed farm in the early Last of Us Part 2. You only read about him in the notes.
Oh shit.
I did not know this, but some Last of Us fans are smarter than me and said this could be what's his name? Not Frank, but similar to how Frank had an actual character. I think it might have been revealed by Neo, actually. I don't know. But either way,
is it Joel behind him?
Yeah, this is Joel getting ready to shoot him, kind of like what was that one book called? Mice and Men. Either way, but yeah, this is the guy who like wrote all the notes. If you're playing as Ellie and Dina throughout their adventure, even in the supermarket area, in the trucks, there was a guy who like left his family, created a weed farm, and that's the weed farm that they go eventually get in. That's when they first make out, Ellie and Dina. So it's a whole little story, kind of like if in the Ellie and Ellie and Joel sewer level, and that was part 1. There's a whole story about like what went down. They're all visualized via the notes with Ish. And now we're seeing that here, where this character is going to be visualized. I don't know what's going to happen. It's like Joel kills him. For what reason? I don't know why. But this is very interesting. You see Joel being very like, this is some season 1 Joel shit. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm very curious. Yeah, this is when Ellie and Dina are running for their lives.
God, this is cool.
A lot more clickers this season. And this, I think, is episode 2. And this is episode 1. Holy shit, that's Stalker. This is Joel in the winter, probably after he saves Abby.
Yeah.
Do you know what he did?
Oh.
And, you know, these people are very upset about Joel because the whole idea is that, like, Ellie had the ability for the cure, and Joel stopped them from doing that. To this day, people are like, Joel stopping this didn't change anything because Ellie was never going to have the cure. But I'm like, that was never for sure. Well, people say that because in the notes for part 1, the recordings, is that like Abby's dad had killed a lot of people for the potential to get the cure. Other people that he thought were also immune but failed. Ellie, though, has something that they'd never seen before. So maybe it might work, maybe it won't. But it's not that there's no 100% thing that Joel saving Ellie completely stopped that, because we don't know if it could have worked. We don't know if it could have. Like, there's no 100% either way. And that's the thing. And the Fireflies, and they're just very upset at Joel for doing that.
That said, we saw kind of a thing in season 1, didn't we, with Ellie's birth? Like, her mom was bit just as she was giving birth, wasn't she?
Yep.
So that would give like a scientific, like, for sure, at least like an explanation of why she's not able to get infected. She has an immunity. But whether or not it could actually be distributed into a cure is the Pandora's box.
That's the Pandora's box, for sure. And for Abby specifically, Abby's dad was a doctor who Joel brutally killed. Yeah. Every path. So yeah, this is just that scene looks so terrifying. The whole terrifying scene. Oh my gosh, what is happening there?
Man.
Dina. I have no idea what's happening there with Dina. Loader, baby, let's go. This is peak like video game. I love it. I love it.
That shit looks practical to me, man.
It does. Like, how many times when you play in the game, you just use your flamethrower against a bloater?
Or against the doctors, you fuck. The first game.
That was me. So yeah, then Joel, this is so sad. He swore that, you know, he promised the very last scene of part 1, he promised her that, hey, there was no cure. And now she found out it was all a lie. And he admits to it. And then that breaks their relationship.
Man.
But we're going to see the rise and fall of the Joel and Ellie relationship in season 2. And I'm very curious to see what they do for... I'm still very curious where they end this season. I'm very curious to see what Abby gets into. I'm very excited for Caitlin Deaver's interpretation of Abby. And I'm supporting every decision along the way. I love season 1 so much. It was a great adaptation of the show, the game that I love so much. And yeah, no words, no comments, no notes.
Beautiful.
Very excited. So yeah, I never watched the Lilo and Stitch trailer. I've seen some screen grabs, some images, but I never watched the full thing. So
I did not either, and I'm looking forward to it. So I got queued up right here.
Cool.
Add it to the screen. There we go.
So yeah, I grew up watching the Lilo and Stitch movies all the time, and even the TV series and the sequel movies. I was addicted to this universe. Addicted to the universe.
Yeah. It's a hell of a time, so I'll be intrigued to see, because, you know, with the live action stuff, it's hit and miss. There are some that we like.
Yeah, the OG, the Jungle Book, Favreau's Jungle Book. I like Aladdin. I like Beauty and the Beast.
Me too, Beauty and the Beast. You recommend Cinderella quite highly. Haven't seen it yet.
Cinderella's great. Yeah.
So, yeah, man. And you know, I enjoy elements of the Maleficent film. We like Cruella. We both like Cruella.
We do like Cruella. Both Maleficent films are hot garbage.
So we got the trailer here. We're gonna head into it.
Anyways, let's do it. Kind of odd that we're finally getting the trailer for this.
We have apprehended a dangerous experiment. Where is he?
He escaped.
He's trying to find the police.
All right, I like the other alien designs.
I like the visual effects.
He's the red one.
Yeah, this looks fun.
He is gone.
He's caught in your crosshairs.
I'm seeing this big scale.
Shooting star! I wish for a friend.
Oh man.
Like a best friend.
Wow, this is wild to see.
Great casting on her part, on their part for her.
That's good. That's a really good effect.
Really good.
So cute and fluffy.
He is your responsibility.
He's so cute
We
and
promise.
Yeah.
Down from there.
Look like an angel.
No. Control him. Hey, what are you doing?
She still has a CD in her car. How old is her car?
Hey, when you're broke,
No.
you get what you can.
You sure that's a dog?
This is really good animation.
Yeah, I'm still stunned by it. Really, really good. Oh man, the set photos. I remember this.
Ew, we are not keeping this thing.
Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind.
Or forgotten.
Oof. Ouch.
Stitch that.
Sometimes family isn't perfect. That doesn't mean they aren't good. That's close. I don't think you're supposed to drink that.
Yeah, no, that's a bit hot. I miss a lot. Oh, iconic scene.
Oh yeah.
Not so iconic in the
Bubbles.
movie,
We have a
but
blue dog to catch.
All right.
interesting.
Oh wow.
No. I'm gonna give you to the count of 3, Stitch. 1.
Damn.
Wow. Nice.
Right on. Right
Good
on.
trailer.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I saw that scene. People are comparing about like the whole surfing wave scene. I'm sure. Man, I'm not sure. I'm hopeful that they extend it to get like the iconic wave scene when they're finally, all three of them, the daughter, the sister, and Stitch are surfing together as a family.
Mhm.
It's an iconic scene from the film, from the animated film that I hope is just, that could just be a scene of them surfing. Not a lot of fanfare there, but it is par for the course where a lot of scenes in the right here, a lot of scenes in the in these live actions don't hold that emotional weight. But I don't think this is just a random scene. Probably,
Yeah.
People are probably thinking too hard about this.
It is like a random shot from the scene. I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyways,
it's nothing to get too angry about yet.
I was more kind of caught up with the idea of, I guess Gemma and Pleakley are gonna have like human disguises, like actual like projections of humans.
Did they do this in the animated film? I don't think they did, right?
No, they just are themselves dressed up like, cartoon logic, just dressed up in disguises as like normal with normal clothes.
Yeah. What's going on here?
It's like the thing in the the trench coat and the hat, or Raphael.
Yeah.
But then also that was an interesting look at the VFX for Pleakley here. Let me look at this here. This design is a intense design here.
It's decent. It's something.
2 tongues. I don't remember that, but
I don't remember that at all. That's weird.
The texture is like very reptilian.
And the other guy was like disguised as a black man, right? Or no, the black man was another scientist, right? Or the guy with the tie.
No, he's the head of the Child Protection Services, right?
Got it. Okay.
The Ving Rhames character in the first one.
I haven't watched the movie in ages.
I'd be interested in watching the the original.
Yeah, we should. We have time.
But yeah, in the realm of like the beginning here, I really like the executed designs of the
Me too.
aliens here.
Great designs across the board here.
Yeah, it looks like we got like they really are like going like full steam with like all the classic shapes of them, which is really cool. They look like honestly like Lucasfilm level of practical designs brought to life with enhanced effects.
Yeah.
But also like the scale of like the space battle stuff is really nice to see, and like the shots of the island, like fuck, I won't see this in IMAX. Hell yeah.
I don't know if this is an IMAX kind of thing. I might see that. I don't know.
It's available. I mean, if you have to drive out of your way, I get it.
Mission Impossible is going to be covering the IMAX cameras actually. So.
Right. Like
I don't know
they really are like doing really good with the visual effects here.
I think the visual effects are going to be solid here. So I think the main thing that I'm looking forward to, the visual effects are fine. The sibling dynamic between Stitch and her. I'm completely forgetting her name.
What's the title?
Lilo. Wow, I'm stupid. I'm an idiot. But yeah, I think Lilo is going to be fine. I think she looks great. Great casting. The sister also, older sister, looks great. He could have killed somebody with that CD.
With a CD.
If it goes fast enough, right? I don't know.
You're not dropping it from space, my guy.
I've seen Final Destination.
We're gonna be watching those for sure.
For sure. But yeah, this is like a fun time. I don't know. Again, the first one just has such a wholesome, emotional pull to it. I wonder if this film can reach its heights, or at least come close to it.
I think it can. I think like the realistic texture of Stitch, just making him feel like a real like animal, like a real pet, is very good. I think it's helping quite a bit.
I agree. It does make that. It does have like that instant cute factor.
Totally. Yeah, this guy.
Agent Cobra Bubbles.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a great actor, so I like that.
Totally. So yeah, that about does it for the.
I was so shocked they released a trailer this late. I mean, they're playing this for like the Snow White crowd, which I think is going to bomb. Not because of Rachel internet. I think the internet's on Rachel's side with all of this. But anyways, because people are like, Snow White's gonna bomb because of Gal Gadot. People don't like Gal Gadot. I'm like, guys, believe me, that's an internet thing. Like the public does not give a shit about Gal Gadot. I mean, does not care either way. I mean, it's completely the internet that does not.
It does captivate me every time somebody calls out her acting, and I'm like, this is what you had in 2017 with Wonder Woman. Y'all were
right
over the moon.
Am I crazy?
No.
Am I crazy?
You're not crazy. Like
where
you can have issues with her for her like beliefs and whatnot, but like in terms of the acting, it's just like Aaron loves to also pick and choose like specific. Like there could be some
her acting wasn't great before Wonder Woman. Like I remember when she was cast, I was like, oh, she's one of the worst parts about Fast 5 and 6. Whenever she was in, she was not good in those movies. I was doubtful for how good she was going to be in 2017. I was doubtful, but then she surprised me in 2017. I was like, oh wow, okay, this might be the role for her. She was good in Wonder Woman. She's not so great in 84. She's not so great in Justice League and both those movies. The Thunder Cut either. But then, and she's not great in Death on the Nile. Like, she's not a great actress. She was great in 2017 Wonder Woman. I think people just like forget about that. But there was no review saying she was awful in that movie when that came out in 2017. I swear to God, there wasn't. Remember, people were saying Wonder Woman should get a Best Picture nomination in 2017. I was there.
I mean, hey, good stuff. Good film. I don't really have issue with Gal as an actress. I don't think she doesn't blow me away, but I don't think she's atrocious. I've seen atrocious. Yeah. But that said, Lilo and Stitch here. I think we'll definitely be playing not just in front of Snow White. I think we'll be playing in front of a lot of things. We'll probably play in front of Thunderbolts if I were to guess.
Yes. Yeah.
Any
Snow
Disney
White in March. What's coming out in April for Disney? Nothing. This will definitely play in front of Accountant 2 for sure. Kidding.
It could. If it's a premium release, it might be one of like the first 2 trailers it plays.
True. And then definitely in front of Thunderbolts. Asterisk.
For sure. And I was always like contesting on like I think this is gonna make quite a bit of money because in terms of adapting the originals, they usually were going off like the Disney Renaissance age of the adaptations, which I think we've all but covered in different degrees.
Yes. Little Mermaid, Lion King, Tarzan has not. Tarzan hasn't fully happened yet, but Tarzan is a weird IP.
Tarzan was like the early 2000s.
Yeah, it's a weird IP where it's just like it's out of control. Yeah.
I could see them doing that because it's been some time since that other Tarzan movie that happened. But they did Mulan.
Yeah.
Right. And they did some classics with Cinderella and Snow White and Sleeping Beauty to a degree with Maleficent. So now I feel like the only like things left that are like really big is like they're working on Hercules. Tarzan would absolutely be a good one, and I very much believe Lilo and Stitch is probably the highest caliber of.
What was the other early 2000s Disney movie that needs to happen, Nathan?
Brother Bear.
No. That is true.
Sorry. Let me.
Planet.
Treasure Planet. Do you think they'll do that?
They should.
I'd watch the fuck out of it. I watch Treasure Planet. I'll watch Atlantis.
And cast. What's it called?
Joseph Gordon.
What's his name? Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yeah, cast him. He needs a job. I think.
Wow. Tom Holland is.
No.
Tim Hopkins.
Stop it.
Well, you don't think he'll prove himself with the Odyssey?
He's a good actor, Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't want him to be in Jim. He doesn't scream Jim to me. But we'll see. I love Treasure Planet and Atlantis are in the same era of Lilo and Stitch. Treasure Planet, Atlantis, and Emperor's New Groove. Like Emperor's New Groove would be hard to do, I think, though.
I think they could do it. It would be weird because you have to like mocap a face into a llama.
There's a lot of animal, work to be done there.
I think it would be possible though. You have to make sure you don't make a terrifying design, but I think you could get there. And I would see them doing that. I don't know how top of the list Treasure Planet would be for them because wasn't that not the biggest financial success?
It wasn't. But that's why you can have a time to make it a success. Make this a franchise.
It's a cult classic now.
The cult classic sci-fi blast. It's just so much fun. There's a hoverboard, guys. Come on.
Yeah, and I mean, like the story of Treasure Planet or Treasure Island in and of itself is such an iconic one that's been adapted in many different ways. Muppets did it, and I love it.
And Atlantis could be big as well. That was
totally.
It had 2 films.
That'd be a hell of a time.
A big cast.
I wonder what can of worms DreamWorks making How to Train Your Dragon is going to do to their other animated films.
Shrek live action.
Maybe Road to El Dorado in live action would work.
Would be awesome. Are they going to make the characters as sexy as they are in the animated movie?
I hope so. But with what the fuck I was going to say? What were we talking about? Live action
adaptation.
Oh yeah, How to Train Your Dragon. I still have not seen any of those movies.
Yeah, we're gonna watch those too. We got time.
Yeah. When is that coming out?
June?
Yeah.
Or July, one of those.
Only 3
days. June, not July. July is crowded. But anyways, we also know they're doing Moana live action very soon, 2026, I think.
Right, that is true. That is a wild case because that's like the modern 3D animation that they're tackling into. And
the first major 3D one, they're skipping over Frozen, which I thought would have been a no-brainer.
I think Frozen will be next if they're going to do other ones.
Probably after they do 3 and 4, they'll do Frozen.
Sure. Yeah.
But Frozen live action, Tangled live action. They have time to do.
They are making Tangled live action, aren't they?
Are they? I forgot.
That's in development right now.
Maybe, okay. Oh yeah, because people making fun of the Shazam actor Levi, whatever his name is.
Right.
He is not being cast. But Mandy Moore, come back, please. We love you.
There you go.
Anyways, Mandy Moore is like the evil stepmother. That'd be awesome, though.
Yeah.
Like evil godmother. Or they could just cast Catherine, the Agatha actress. What's her name?
Oh, Catherine Hahn. Yeah.
As evil godmother in Tangled.
That'd be good casting.
That'd be perfect casting. But yeah, I gotta go. So this has been great, Nathan. Catch me on Twitter, HarrisEV9. Doing the thing, watching Survivor, screaming about Survivor. Amazing Race is back as well. Traders is finally over. So reality TV is coming to a slow halt here. But Survivor into Big Brother, love that shit. I'm watching a lot of TV anime these days. Spring anime season's coming up soon in April. That's gonna be fun to see. I don't know what else to talk about here. Oh, if you're not watching Frieren on Netflix, it's one of the best anime of all time. It just hit Netflix like last week, 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have time, guys. Go watch it. That's my recommendation.
I was thinking about checking out Dan to Dan.
Dan to Dan's fun too, but watch Frieren first.
Fair enough. Maybe I should fucking watch any of the other anime I should get back to Demon Slayer. I should get back to.
Oh, you should definitely watch Demon Slayer. The movie, part 1 of the finale of the final trilogy of movies, is coming out September 12th for American audiences. And I tell you, this first one might be the best one. I don't love the ending of Demon Slayer, but I do love the initial part of the first of the final arc, and that's what we'll get in September, and it's emotional. So yeah,
right on. But otherwise, you can follow me at _TimeBlazer, making a show called Time Blazer with co-star and creative consultant Evan Harris.
Playing Ben, and there's no Sadie Sink in our show.
Unless she wants to be.
That'd be fun.
In which case, I have so many roles for women in that show.
Okay, Nathan.
You didn't have to make it weird.
It seems like a weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Is it weird?
Nah.
She can play a man as well if she wants.
Nah.
Hey.
Now it's even weirder.
Now she's playing Ben, so fuck you.
Oh, fuck.
That being said, if you guys enjoy this, make sure you like, subscribe, and rate. Ring the bell so you don't miss coverage on all things movie and TV. That being said, hope you have a great day. Catch you guys next time.